hello, you folks, and welcome back to episode 3 of Let's Mod Imperium Galactic Survival, or EGS. A little bit of good news for you lovely folks out there. I was able to get the monitor that had fell off the top of the Piota into the floor. Apparently, it didn't break, which I thought it did, and I was able to get that bad boy up and going. So, yay, I got another monitor now, so, groovy, every little bit helps. Let's test out the testing chat. Oh, let's see. If you hear some clunking around in the background, guys, I apologize for that. Somehow or another, I managed to turn my washing machine on, and well, it's one of those washing machines that when you start the cycle, it has to go through. So all of my brand new, freshly clean clothes that have been washed and all that are getting another wash job. So there's that. All right, let's go ahead and pause that right there and shut that off and bring up desktop. Now, in the last stream, we were talking about our saw attachment and what could we do to make that to where it would saw wood. Now, I got to thinking, there's only one thing that I know in the game that resources or gathers the resources of both wood and stone and all that stuff, and that is your survival tool. So what we're going to learn today is how to look up things to implement in other aspects of our mod. In this case, we're going to look up our survival tool, and we're going to see what makes this applicable to us making the saw on our SV. If you remember in the last video, we made it to where we could stick our little roll grinder saw thingy that is for harvesting trees. We stuck it on our SV. We learned how to do that. Well, now we're going to learn how to look up, find other elements in the game, vanilla assets, and we're going to apply them to other things. In this case, the saw, and see if we can't get that to work. And Stormfall Gaming's, welcome to the chat. It is good to have you here. We are learning how to mod Imperium Galactic Survival. Yay! For those of y'all don't know, Stormfall Gaming, very good friend of mine. He has his own YouTube channel, which is Stormfall Gaming 420. Definitely go over there, check his YouTube channel out. He YouTubes anything from I think 7 Days to Die, EGS, and a few others, just to name a few. Definitely go over there, give him some love. His like, subscribe buttons also. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of move this down right here. You're very welcome. You're very welcome. So I can see it a little bit better, because right now, as it is literally up in my face. All right, now we're going to have to kind of take note where this little thing is right here. I guess it's the little scroll block or whatever. So we want to kind of get an idea. So it's roughly right in this area right here. So when we scroll back down and come back, we'll have an idea of where it's at. Okay, you learn little things like that. Now, getting back to our saw attachment, we know out of all the tools in the game that you can attach on the SVs and HVs, well, you don't have one specific attachment or implement that does what the regular survival tool that you can build when you start off a new game that you can build in your suit inventory. Well, we don't have something like that that does all three, okay? And the more I thought about this, the more I got to thinking, you know, Chief, when you're using the survival tool, you can right-click and it gives you other options and all that stuff, such as salvaging the POIs, the materials like the blocks and stuff like that, the decos and so forth and so on. Then you also got harvest materials and so forth, which harvest covers both your wood harvesting, such as your trees and fiber and things of that nature, as well as your stone, your copper, your carbon substrate, or rocks that you find on the ground, as well as resources that are buried in the ground, which is your regular deposits. So we're going to take a look at that, and we know that that thing is called our survival tool. So we're going to come back up here to our items menu, and we're going to go all the way up in our items config file, not the block one just yet. And we're going to control F, and we're going to type in survival tool. I'm not quite sure how they have it because I don't remember. It's either survival tool no space or survival tool with a space. We'll find it. Okay. All right. So if you have this, remember last time we had our search on backwards directions. We'll just uncheck that box. Now we can go forward. Put it in Drive. All right. Here's a reference to it. That is not our survival tool off the bat. That is our what's that thing? Multi-tool. That's what that is. So we'll keep on going. All right, there we go. That's what we're looking for right here. This lovely fella right here. Okay, so we're going to select this. It starts right here at the open bracket. It's what I call it. You may know it as something else with the plus item ID, and then it goes all the way down through here. Okay, to the closed bracket right here with the open bracket for the next item. So what we're going to do is we're going to grab all of this stuff right here. We're going to kind of scroll back up to right there. Okay, we're going to control copy that. Then you remember our little tab that we have over here for our note. Okay. If you remember, I made this note last time, make a saw or harvester. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to go ahead and paste that so we can use that as a reference. Okay? Now, let's go back up here where we were at the top of this bad boy. And if you remember, we had this right here indicated so that when we find our thingy again, we can go back to it and stuff like that. All right. Let's see here. And it's going to be roughly right in this area right here. Okay, that's the tool. That's the tool. Tool, artillery, saw attachment weapon right there. Okay. Now, what we're going to do, I'm going to close that out. And I'm going to kind of shrink this down a little bit. Okay. It might be a little difficult for y'all to see it, but it makes it easier for me to find things and stuff like that. I'm going to move this over just a little bit. All right, so we're going to look at the saw attachment. That's this guy right here, okay? This is this whole section right here, okay? Well, it starts from right here to right here, okay? Now, we noticed something right off the bat when we're looking at our coding. We have what's called a child. Okay, this is how Imperium or EGS looks at things. It looks at things through child objects. Okay, now over here on our survival tool, we have child 0. Then we have child 1. Well, that line right there, you know what I'm talking about. And then we have child 2, okay? And it clearly indicates that child 2, which basically it's 1, 2, 3, but it starts with 0, 1, 2, which is still, you know. But for game coding, it's 0, 1, 2. All right. So those are the childs right there. Okay. That's just for child 2. That is the salvage mode of the survival tool, okay? Now, we don't need that mode, but we need the resource mode. this is defense mode, child 1, which is this right here. That's the little red laser defense. Hey, you know, we're defending ourselves mode. We need this lovely little thing right here. This is the resource mining, stone removal, wood cutter, so forth deal right there. But that we already have the wood cutting thing over here. Okay, that's the whole purpose of the saw attachment, is to cut wood. So let's look at and compare these two sections, this child and this child. Let's zoom in a little bit so you can see it a little bit better now. Okay, we'll just move that over right here a little bit. All right, so now this side right here. This is our survival tool. Let's see. I was thinking maybe a laser drill for SV for all this stuff. We could absolutely do that, Stormy. We could absolutely do that here in a bit. I'll show you how to do that. It's going to be the same concept as what we're doing here. It's just instead of the saw attachment, it would be the actual, was it level 20 or level 25 when you finally unlock the laser drill, which we can change all that stuff too. But before we do anything else, though, Chief's got to get a sip of this fresh cup of coffee, and he went and splurged at the grocery store last night, ladies and gentlemen, and he absolutely got him some Southern Butter Pecan coffee flavor and some Italian Irish cream. So today's flavor is Southern Butter Pecan. That's some good stuff. All right, now that we got our coffee fit going on. All right, now let's get back to what we were doing. All right, so we notice right here it says class driller. Okay, over here it says class harvest saw or harvester saw. Okay, now what we absolutely can do, guys, is we absolutely can take this right here from this closed bracket right here, and we can we're going to do something a little different. I normally don't do this, but we're going to do this. We're going to go ahead and put this in here as is. We're going to go ahead and paste that in here. Now what we're going to do is we're going to come down here and we're going to shift 3 and we're going to comment the original out just like this. Okay, that way we have the original. If we crash the game and things go dumb and stupid and all that crazy stuff, then we know that we done some stuff wrong. Okay, so, and we don't want to be able to do that, so all we got to do after that is uncomment this and remove the other, and then work at it one line at a time if we have to. Because keep in mind, I didn't think of this ideal until yesterday, if I remember the last episode. All right, everything looks commented out. Beautiful. All right, now what we can do is we can absolutely give this a test. Okay, so let's go ahead and control save this bad boy. And one of two things is going to happen. Either the game's going to work or we're going to crash it like a bad habit. Okay, so let's just give it a try. And this is all what modding is about, guys, is trial error. Now, I didn't change the sound effects or the particle effects because for all intents and purposes, it's going to basically be the resource mining drill laser. We'll sort that out here in a minute. And I'll show you how to do that. There you go, Storm. You get best of both worlds. You get your laser and people get their saw. We'll see what happens. There we go. All right. So like I said, one of two things is going to happen. Either it's going to work or it's not going to work. Okay, if it doesn't work well, then we know we need to go back to the drawing board and see why it doesn't work. And the thing about these live streams is I'm like most of y'all. I played the vanilla game since I was one of the original beta testers when EGS first came out, way back before Steam was even recording your playtime deal and all that stuff. All right, so here's our little ship. Let's go in here and let's see. Do we have the power on? No, the power is not on, and it does not have fuel. All right, no problems. Let's see. There's your little laser drills right there that you was asking about, Storm. Right there. That's from last episode. Let's go ahead and turn it on the item menu and God mode, because I mean, after all, we are, you know, like messing with rockets here, so to speak. Let's see. Let's type in some fuel. Let's see. There we go. Let's go ahead and get a couple of that. You know what? Let's just get 4,000. What could possibly go wrong? Let's see here. Fuel. Yep, let's dump some fuel in there. Fill her up. All right, beautiful. Now, let's see. Now we can turn our power on. Everything's on and all that stuff. Beautiful. Let's see. Can we? You know what? I bet if I turn the volume up on this game, you might can hear it, huh? Let's Let's see here. No wonder why you can't hear the volume. Here we go. We'll fix that. There you go. I'm sorry, guys. I'm new at this. What do you want from me? I'm novice. All right, there we go. So you might can hear it now. It's just the small things that are important. Cause I was sitting there wondering why I couldn't hear it myself. All right, let's try this again. All right, so, all right, I hear the bzz, bzz, bzz. All right, now, so I don't have the right-click pie window coming up, but that's okay. All right, we are mining resources. Yay. The reason I stuck it at 10, the distance is at 10, because actually that's as close as you can get to the thing with the SV without. Alright, so there's that one. Let's go into our little ship mode thingy. Okay. Bam, look at there. So now, let's see. There we go. Now we can absolutely mine. Let's see. There we go. We can mine with this now. Okay. So there's how you make your harvester where it mines all that good stuff. Okay. Now, what's the beauty about this is you can take, let's fly over here and hit the O key. Whoa, back up brakes. All right, you can hit your O key. There we go. And hold your O key. And just hold your O key and it will keep your vehicle level to the plane. And you can just slowly walk it forward with your W key. Okay. And if you want to get out and look around, you absolutely can. And see what that does is it allows you to basically make a flat terrain. Okay? And it works really good if you are in a... Matter of fact, let's go ahead and grab another one of these real quick. We'll throw that on there just for science. Alright, where's our tab key at? Alright, let's go ahead and take this one off just for right at the moment. Let's see. Give me just a second. Let me sort my life out here real quick. Let's grab that one and let's grab that one. Okay. I'll show you why here in just a second. Oh, hey, I already got some blocks there. Awesome. Alright. So let's put that one right there and put that one right there. Now let's grab our we're going to have to put one more on each side, okay? Like I said, all of this stuff is to give you, the player, a fresh perspective on the vanilla game, okay? Perfect. Now, let's go back in here. All right, remember, hold the O key, and it keeps you level, and then you can sit there and you can basically flatten the ground, level it. Okay, how cool is that? And it will do just how the thing works and all that stuff. All right, we'll see you when you get back, Storm. And you'll grab all the rocks, resources, and stuff like that. Okay, now, for those of y'all that are eagerly wondering and stuff like that, can you make it to where it mines wider and deeper? You absolutely can, guys. That is a thing, okay? Like, for example, we are kind of somewhat hung on that. Why are we hung on that? I don't know, okay? But we are, okay? Now, if you want to know how to make your mining area wider, that's where we go to right here, which we probably should take that reference from the original. So now that we have this, let's go ahead and move that over so we can look at this. I'll go ahead and zoom in now so you can see. All right, let's take our reference, our rate of fire, and our range, noise strength, ammo capacity. It doesn't have that. All right, well, we'll take our range, rate of fire, and we'll transfer it up to this one right here. Where's our range? Range, there it is. All right, well, actually, we won't do that because it's already got them up here. So let's go ahead and tick that because that's what we're going to mod right there. All right, so our range is 10. So let's go ahead and change our range right here to 10 also. All right, our radius, that is the width from left to right, from the center of the thing left to right, and the total of the hole from the left side to the right side. Let's make that radius, a good, nice, solid 3. Okay? Now, let's take that damage. Let's make that damage double what it is. So we're going to change that to 240. Okay? All right. And noise strength, let's drop that noise strength down to 10. Okay? Now, let's go ahead and save that. And now we should notice a huge difference in rate of fire. Let's go ahead and change that to that one, which is be 220. Perfect. Let's go ahead and save that. Now we should notice a huge difference with the mining and resource gathering when we get in there, which I kind of like the blade thing and stuff like that. It's kind of cool. All right, beautiful. Okay. Let's test this bad boy and see if it works. Then we will go over to the laser drill mining thing, and we will show Storm how to set that up for his laser drills also. Okay. But I wanted to definitely do this for y'all. All right, let's get out, look around. All right. Remember, we got our O key, so we're going to go ahead and back up a little bit. All right, see, notice it's widening the area now versus what we first started. Because now, instead of it being 1.75, 1.25, whatever, it's now 3. Okay, and now it goes 10 feet or 10 meters, however you want to say it. Okay, and then we also made the damage where it's double than what it was when we started. So now, if you look, this little ship will absolutely fit inside a hole that you dig now. Okay? How cool is that? Let's adjust our elevation a little bit. Perfect. This I didn't want to back up, but that allows you to go in And see how now you can really make a base in the side of a mountain now? What do y'all think about that? How cool is that? Welcome back, welcome back. We're just showing what we just done. We made the radius a little bit wider. We made it extend to 10, and we doubled the damage of what this bad boy was doing. And now we're just kind of showing what we done so that you can see as the viewer the options that you have when you learn how to mod EGS yourself. And as I had mentioned in the very, very first episode, I've scoured the internet for both modding tutorials for Stranded Alien Dawn, Sins of the Solar Empire 2, and Imperium Galactic Survival, and there is either none or very, very limited modding instructional videos, especially on these games. Who thinks we can get to the other side of this mountain real quick? That'd be kind of cool. Wait, let's see how big this mountain is real quick before we. It's not too big, so yeah, we can absolutely do this. Okay, so yeah, let's go ahead and just take our little hole through the mountain, just for funsies. So yeah, there we go. Well, our light absolutely works, even though it's behind the harvesters. And remember, we're holding the O key also, and that O key keeps us straight and level. And when we get through the other side, we'll turn around and we'll look, and I'll show you what we've accomplished with our mod. All right, yay! So now we can turn around and we can look. So now, if you look, it's perfectly level. That's how you build a base, folks. And you actually use a hover vessel with a mining drill. Like 3 or 4 mining drills, maybe 4 or 5. But now you can do that with an SV. And when you get finished and you need some sawdust for some, you can run up here and grab your tree right here so you can make some biofuel. Whoa, I hit the E key. So there you go. Look at that. Bam. How cool is that, guys? That is absolutely cool. And like I said, I kind of like the whole saw grinder thingy. That's really, really cool if you ask me. You know what? I'm curious. I am absolutely curious. Let me see something real quick because I just had an epiphany. I don't know. We're going to... Whoa. I did not have it in God mode. My bad. There we go. Let's see here. I am curious, and I am going to find out. All right. Okay, so that's what I was wondering. All right, so you've noticed how you can't really rotate things and stuff like that because it's got to basically. What causes that? See how it will only let me rotate it around or up and down, but it won't let me turn it where the saw teeth are facing toward the sky or toward the ground. So what causes that? I will show you. So now we need to go to our block config file for that. Okay, that will be over here with the place weapon. Let's type in free right there. Just give me let me double check, make sure that yes, capital F. Alright, so let's type in capital FREE, free, where it says place. Okay, we're going to untick that. We're going to type that. Okay, then we're going to go ahead and save it. Now we're going to go back in and see if that will allow us to rotate it up, down, left, right, whatever, and all that stuff. I'll show you here in just a second. And then when we get done with that, then we will jump over there on the laser mining drill and stuff like that. And we'll learn how to set our laser drill up to resource and mine our words Yep. Did not have God mode on. Okay. Um. We will make the actual laser drill that you can put for the SV. We will make it. Not only will it resource the stone, the wood, but we're also going to make that to where it will also resource um uh salvage. It'll salvage. We're not going to make it to where it salvages blocks, but we're going to make it salvage other things like the resources. All right, so we should now be able to look at there. Oh, how cool is that, guys? So let's go ahead and put one of those right there, and put one of those right there. Let's go ahead and take these two off. Okay, now it does not register the saws, and I'm clicking the saws and all that stuff. So let's see if we put the other saws back on there, if those saws will register with those. Okay. All right, let's flip this bad boy around. Da 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 da. What are we doing here, Chief? Oh, there we go. All right. Ah, that's close enough. All right, now. So those don't come on because of their placement, and that's unfortunate. Let's see. Let's go in here and let's auto group these bad boys. Auto group every one of them. All right, let's go to our harvesters. We have a harvester container and a harvest module. So let's see if that, now that they're grouped, no. Alright, so we can absolutely go through there and figure out why that is. So let's just kind of see real quick in the coding real quick. Because now I'm curious. Alright, place is free. Okay. Let's see, volume, information, drill, dynamic, drill, energy, blast radius. I'm not really seeing a, thing over here. Yeah, I don't see anything over here that would prevent it from doing that, from mining upside down. I don't see nothing over here, and it may very well be hard-coded, guys. Then that's certainly fine. All right, so let's go ahead and move on. Remember, we got our survival tool right here. So now we want to go in here and we want to find our drill. Okay. Drill attachment. What is this for? Drill attachment is going to be, and if you're unsure, you can always tell where they're at. The drill attachment is going to be right here for the ground vehicle. Okay, that's where that's going to be. All right, let's kind of move this over here. So that's the actual drill for that. So let's keep on searching. All right, turret drill ground vehicle. So that's the excuse me. That's the drill that you can control and mine and stuff like that. Okay. Alright, drill turret. Alright, this is the CV, your capital vessel. We know that because EMS in the coding stands for massive ship, meaning large ship. Okay, so we're going to keep on going through that. Drill attachment SVT2. Like, almost makes you wonder where's the other one. Excuse me. All right, so here's this bad boy right here. Okay, this is what we're going after right here. Now, if you notice right here, unlock cost 25. Okay, we're going to change that to 5. Unlock level, we're going to change that to 5 also. Yes, that's what we're going to do. All right, so and I'll show you here in just a second the whole tech tree in your blueprints things. So that's how you would change what level, so forth and so on. Container harvester control, you need that. That's telling the game. That's what this line right here does. It says tech tree parent. I'll explain that more depth in game. That way you can see what I'm talking about. But that tells the game, okay, you need to research this before this right here will unlock. And when you research this right here will unlock for you. I'll explain it when we get in the game here in just a second. But before we get all excited and beside ourselves, we're going to go ahead and tick this. That way, you know, we can easily find it. All right, so now let's go ahead and find this bad boy right here. Okay, we're going to control copy. Then we're going to go to our items config. We're going to control V to paste that in there. Then we're going to search it out. There it is right there. Okay, now let's go ahead and check this right here, because we're going to try some stuff. Okay, good talk. All right, there's that. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to look at that. We're going to go ahead and close this because it's in our way. We're going to go back over here, and this here tells it, hey, you're mining resource attachments. Okay, you're just mining resources, stuff like that. That's what that does. You know. Terrain mode, true. All right, so now we're using our other thing over here. This section right here is defense, and what we're going to do is we're going to try something. We're going to grab the child 1 and the child 2 right here. Okay, we're going to copy both of these. We're going to come right here at the end of this close asterisk or bracket, closing bracket. We're going to hit enter. Then we're going to control V. Okay, bam. Now, before we get all excited and all that stuff, something that we got to remember about this particular thing is, okay, we already have it right there. Beautiful. All right. Now, that's what we was needing to make sure that we had. Now, let's see. Do we need resource mining, woodcutter? We've got that. We've got that. Beautiful. We've got that. All right, let's go up here. Is there anything else that we think we might need? No. All right. So, with that being said, we are going to control S to save that, and we're going to control S to save that. And going back to what I had mentioned in every episode video up to this point, always do one item at a time. That way you don't have like 100 things that you've done, and if we break the game, we don't know what we did because we've done 100 different things, and now we got to go through 48,000 lines of code because we forgot what we did. It's a thing, trust me. It happens to me all the time. All right, let me get a sip of this coffee real quick. Absolute good stuff. Shit, I wished I was getting 1,630 frames per second. We all know that's a lie. This game would never have no lag if that was the case. All right. So it's either going to load or it's not going to load. All right, so let's go ahead and go into our container or wood. Let's go ahead and throw that stuff down on the ground. Okay, beautiful. Now let's get out. Let's go ahead and type in God mode and item menu. All right, beautiful. And let's get rid of these things. Okay. Now let's grab these little lovely fellas right here. All right, let's just stick one of them right there. For science. For science, people. All right, so there we go. All right, let's see. All right, so it is absolutely mining that. Now, will it mine the tree? Okay, let's see. All right. It says to right click. Okay, so we're right clicking and it is not doing nothing. Okay. Interesting. Okay, so that doesn't work like that. It doesn't give us the menu to right click. So let's go in here and let's back out and see why it does not do that. What are we missing from the survival tool? You know what I'm saying? So let's go back into our survival tool. Actually, you know what? Let me look at this for just a second right here. I'm studying this for just a second. Let's go ahead and copy all of the childs. Let's go ahead and copy all the childs over from 0. There we go, from 0 to 2. So yeah, let's go ahead and copy all those over. Okay. For that, because basically it's just a big handheld drill. Okay, let's make sure everything. All right. All right, let's try that and see. Okay, because basically we just turned this thing into a big handheld survival tool. Okay, basically is what we just did. Now, with any luck, it will give us the option to right-click and salvage. Okay, or we're going to crash the game. One of the two. Okay. It's all about experimentation. See, folks, when you're modding a game, it's all about experimentation. Okay, so can we mod this now? Okay. All right. So I can right click or I can left click. It's weird. Okay. Sometimes you have that. Not sure what the right click is doing, but it's doing. Interesting. Okay. But one thing I know that we do need to do, actually, I don't know why the whole right clicking is doing this thing, so let's see if we can adjust that. let's see, the drill attachment, resource mining, radio direction. We can comment those lines out. Okay. Actually, we don't need the defense mode. We don't need that one. So we can actually take that completely out, and we can name this child 1. And we don't need this either. Okay. And let's see here. Let's go ahead and comment those back in and see what it does for us real quick. All right, so child 0 and then child 1. The reason we took this section right here, the movements, because we're not holding this in our hands. So let's go ahead and control S to save. Okay, let's go ahead and bring this bad boy back up. So we're either going to crash it or we're not. It's always 50-50, guys. It's always 50-50. All right, let's see. All right, so for whatever reason, our laser is not projecting out of our thing. Okay. All right, but most importantly, we know it does our resources, our trees. So now let's go up here to where did all our other stuff go? I think that's it over there on that mountain. Yes. Let's see if we can mine this over here. Okay. All right. So if we right click, okay, it mines that. Okay. If we left click, that's for our resources. If we right click, that's a happy little accident right there. So if you right click on it, you mine the blocks, and you just get the resources out of it. So now let's go and find out why our little laser beam is not laser beaming, and I'll tell you exactly why that is. That is because of, if you look right here, that is because of this, and that is absolutely on each one of them. Okay. But before we get excited on that, we're going to extend the range to 15 on the salvage mode, and we're going to extend the range to 15 on this one also. Okay, and we're going to go ahead and save that. Okay, and we're going to go back in and we're going to try it again and see what that does for us. Okay. Okay. And then I'll show you how to put the little laser beam back on there. Okay, but we want to get this functioning a little bit better than what we're doing. All right, remember, right click, it salvages. Okay. See, I'll show you. That's right click, it's salvaging. Okay. Left click, it won't salvage. Okay. So left click is for resource gathering. Okay. There's your left click right there. Okay, so right click is for salvaging blocks, bases, POIs, ships, and so forth. Left click is which I probably could absolutely put that in the information file, which I'll show you here in just a second how to do that. Come on, come on. Get it, get it, get it. There you go. Now, we absolutely can speed this up. We can change the damage on it and all that stuff, because right now it's using the damage of the survival tool. Okay? Remember, we used our survival tool as a reference, is what we did. Okay? All right. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to go over to our blocks section, and we're going to look for this line right here. It says info. What we're going to do is we're going to type in left click for mining and right click for salvage. Okay? We're going to Control S that to save it. Now what we're going to do is we're going to come over here and we're going to go ahead and mark all this stuff to show, hey, this is where we're needing to be and so forth and so on, okay? And we don't have to mark it all in blue, but we're just, that way when we scroll up and down the files, we're going to be able to find it a lot easier. So that's what we want to do. Okay. Now, our particles are these right here. Our sound effects, that's these sound effects. But our particles would be these things right here. So what we're going to do is pulse laser. No, we don't want that one. I mean, we could do pulse lasers, absolutely. But what we want to do is find our, I'll think of it here in a minute. Let's page up and down. Let's see, roughly right there. All right. Nope. All right, there we go. Plasma weapon, no, we don't want that. Turret, enemy, EMP, nope, not that one. Drill attachment, CV weapon, okay. What we're going to do is we're going to copy all of that right there. Okay. Then we're going to go down to this bad boy right here. And we're going to come at the end of this line right here, and we're going to enter. And before we get excited, we're going to comment out this shift 3, shift 3, shift 3, shift 3, shift 3. Okay, now we're going to go back right here, and we're going to paste that. Okay, that's it. Okay, we want to do the same thing down here for the salvage. We want to come down here, go to the end of that line, hit enter. We're going to come down here. We're going to shift 3, shift 3, shift 3, and then shift 3. Even though that's already commented, but with those two comments right there, we'll know that that one there, when we uncomment it right here, that one there will still be its thing. So, let's bring that line down too. Let's close that line. We'll go up and check the top here in just a second. But that's where we need to be right there. All right, and we'll go ahead and place those in there. Let's go up and double check this one right here. Okay, so yep, this right here absolutely should be down here in this little section. Okay, what we did is we cut it out. We Control X'd it to cut it, and then now we're going to, and we Control V'd to paste it, and now we're going to comment that out. Okay, and then we'll just come up here and take this gap out of that. All right, everything should be, I think, what we need it to be. So let's go ahead and Control S to save that. Now, with any luck, we will have the same blue laser thingy we have from these capital vessel turret and stuff like that. That's what we're looking for. That's the whole purpose of us doing this. Okay? Okay. All right, I'm going to get a sip of this coffee real quick. Good stuff. So let's go ahead and load this bad boy up. All right, so apparently it did not like that. So we now know that we were only doing one thing. Apparently it's going to continue loading. Okay, so we know that we created an error somewhere. All right, see now, if you look, we got this little bad boy right here. All right, that is our salvage laser. So we're halfway there, guys. We are halfway there. But we know that that's the salvage mode, so we know that there's a problem in the resource mode. So let's go back in here and look at our coding. All right, let's see. Particles, digger, plasma, particles, digger, plasma. You see this right here? This is the problem right here. Okay, so let's Control X that. Let's come down here and place that down here. Okay, and now we're going to comment that out like we did the rest of them, and that's our problem right there, because we had two of those same thing, and the game's like, hey, wait a minute. Excuse me, there's a problem here. Okay, so now what are we doing? Now we are double checking and making sure. Beautiful. Now we can go ahead and Control save it, and with any luck, it's going to work for us. Okay, I know it's crazy. It is absolutely crazy. So now it shouldn't come up with an error like that now. So let's just see. Okay, it's still coming up with an arrow or an error. Okay, it's still loading, so let's just see what's what. We'll find out here in just a second. All right, still right click is still resources, so apparently we still need to work on that. So let's go back through here and let's just see. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to go down here to our salvage mode, and we are going to select all of this all the way up to here. We're going to copy, Control C to copy, and then we're just going to take this and we're going to bring that all the way up here, and we're going to Control paste. Okay, now before we get excited, we're going to bullet shots used, reload delay. We're just making sure this is the that is the mining. Okay, let's double check our stuff over here. Reload delay, bullets per shot. All right, so something's a little different here. If you look, we have reload delay. Oh, I was in the salvage section. All right, reload, harvest, supports harvest. That's probably what we're missing right there is these two lines right here. Yep, that's what we're missing. So somehow or another we wasn't paying attention. I wasn't paying attention because y'all were watching me because I'm supposed to know what I'm doing. And we're going to go ahead and paste those two lines in right there. All right, so something went stupid. Limited ammo. Let's Control Z to undo that. And then let's go ahead and just paste that in there. Hold on. Ah, that's what we're doing. Okay. Okay, so that is totally my bad. Let's okay, I know what I'm doing wrong now. All right. That's shit, not V space. All right. If you noticed, let's go ahead and space that over here to that. All right, and if you notice what we're missing behind display, we don't have that right there. Bullets per. Oh shit, that's defense mode. Shit, I'll get it right here in a minute, guys. Just bear with me. Let's make sure that there ain't nothing behind that. Okay, there's nothing behind that. All right, bullets per shot. We can go ahead and take that out. That don't go there. All right. Let's see. Using magazine, true. Okay. That is there. Okay, that is correct. All right. Let's see. Particles, digger. Transform, particle 1. Weapon sound, weapons begin, weapons stop. Okay. Just make sure that everything is where it needs to be. Because we done something here that it didn't like. Let's double check this down here. Okay, reload, delay. All right, this is going to be our salvage guy right down here. So let's go down to the salvage section. All right, ammo capacity, ammo type, ammo reload delay. All that's done. All right, particle transform. That's there. Begin, loop, reload. We don't have the reload one there. Let's go ahead and put that in there real quick. Loop. It goes right under loop. Okay. Alright. And that actually might be the whole problem right there, guys, is we didn't have the reload. Alright. So let's go ahead and just put that in there real quick. Alright. Now, it should work in theory. Okay. Now, if we still have an error come up, we're going to go ahead and save it. We'll come and we'll comment this and this section right here out. Okay, because then that would probably be the only thing that's still throwing up the error. So, then this is just all part of modding, guys. Trial, error, testing, trial, error, testing, so forth and so on. Oh, actually, you know what? We done the description. I forgot about that. So let's look into that here in just a second. All right. So now we got our resource gather thingy, and this is our. All right, so now we got our little laser beam. Okay. All right. Perfect. we're going to make that to about 20 or 25. Now we're going to go into our description, our info thingy. Okay. So let's go ahead and make the range 25. Rate of fire, we're going to make that 25. Then we're going to go right here, and we're going to make this bad boy 25. And radius, we're going to go ahead and make that radius again, guys, like we did with the harvester. We're going to make that 3. The damage, we're going to do our damage to, what's that, 1, 12, 12, so that's, what is that, 24, so 2, 4, and then we're going to change the rate of fire on that. Okay, now let's go over here to our info. Now let's get another words, chief, words. What we're doing is we're looking for another block or whatever where we can use our to make sure that we have this correct, just to make sure. So let's find another block. Let's see, out of all these blocks, none of them have info. There we go. Info, that is a space. Okay, perfect. All right. Now let's go back down to our thing. Look at our info. That is a space there. All right. Let's control Z to undo all of that just right now. Okay, then we're going to control S. So that's all back to normal right there. Let's make sure that we save our file over here. Okay, and let's just give this one more look over to make sure that we don't have double begin, reload, particle transform, loop, begin. All those are commented out. Okay. Make sure that is all done there. Now let's go to this one. Reload, particles, transform, begin, loop, reload. Those two are commented out. That's commented out. Okay. Now, nope, we don't want that. Right click. Let's bring this bad boy up. All right. Let's try to load it again and see what happens. All right. So we still have a small error. I am curious of what that error is. So, and that might be because we have the alright, see, now we got mining resources. Left clicking to mine the resources. See, which that's standard for this little device right here anyhow. Okay, and then we can use this bad boy to now you know, that almost looks like that ain't quite long enough. That laser beam's not quite long enough. Yeah. Interesting. So, alright. Now let's try to trace that error down and find out what's going on. So we're going to go back into our item thing, and we're going to comment these 3 lines right here out. Okay. We're going to come up here, and we're going to do the same thing with this. Let's try to keep some consistency there, Chief. Ah. Oh my gosh. Fat fingers. Ah, there we go. Now let's make this. Let's go to 40 with that. Let's go to 30 with this. Okay. All right. Now let's see. I'm just looking just to double checking. Okay. Double checking. We can absolutely, that's 14, 20, 30, 37. Let's take that to 37. Okay, that's the damage rate for the salvage mode. Okay. All right, let's go ahead and save that. It should work. Ish. Maybe. We'll find out. We will find out. If not, I'll figure it out and then let you know. All right. Ah, come on. Like I said, yeah, actually, I'll go into the whatchamacallit files, the log files. That'll take me fairly close. All right. So, the laser doesn't extend any further. I mean, it does, but it doesn't stretch out longer for whatever reason. All right. But either which way, it's doing what we set it out to do. So let's look at our tech tree, because if you remember, we had made it to where you can unlock it at like level 5. So let's go in here and look at level 5. All right, and then what did we need? We needed that right there. So let's take the drill mode. Let's take that to level 7. I'm sorry, level 7 real quick, because it may be something under that. I didn't even think about that. Storm, that's you might have hit the nail on the head on that. I forgot about that. So let's go ahead and change that around just a wee bit. Okay. I think that's going to be over here. So let's change that to level 7. Actually, you know what? Let's go ahead and comment that out. That will absolutely, if this is the problem, that will fix it. Because now it'll be over on the left-hand side. I'll show you. Yes. So it'll be its own entity, on its own line, its own section. That may have very well been the problem. I forgot all about that. Good looking out there, brother. All right, let's see. We're going to find out. Fingers crossed. Anything? Yep. Okay, so, well, apparently that is not the problem, and it may be because the whole mining ordeal and all that stuff. And if that is the case, all right, so left, right still works. Beautiful. All right, let's go ahead and look at our tech tree. Go to small vessel, and we'll look down over here. And there you go. See, it's its own line now. But I am curious. Container controller level. So that's the harvester ore, so container ore, so there was nothing there on that, which that's good. But so what we're going to do is we're going to get unorthodox with it, and we are going to take and we're going to go back to our saw attachment. Control find. Where are you at? Saw attachment? Nope, that's the survivor material. Saw attachment. Bam. We're gonna. Oh, we got to go backwards. So let's click our little put it in reverse button. All right. Now, this is our saw attachment. Oh shit, that's the blocks. We need the this guy. Okay. We're going to copy all of these right here. Now we're going to go to our drill attachment. We got to go forward now. Put it in drive, Chief. Go. Okay, and we're going to just change all these. Not too much, Chief. Easy. And we're going to paste. Okay. All right. Now we're going to control save. Okay. We're going to close that. And we're going to try that because we know we have our saw attachment working and it harvests both without no left click, no right click, no this, that, whatever else under the sun. We know we got that and we established that earlier. So we're going to try that setup with the drill and see what happens for science. Huh. Isn't that something? Well, well, well. Alright, so. Alright, so there's that. We were absolutely mining that, so let's go over here to this guy right here. Alright. So, that is not doing that. So, we do need that other child in the file. Okay, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about that, guys. We are absolutely going to need that child in the file. So let's go ahead and put a space right there, and particle digger muzzle. Let's go with particle 1. Muzzle, PF muzzle flash, lightning. We'll come back to that. All right, so let's go find this other child right here. This guy right here. Okay. We have no choice but to put this in here if we want to. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to comment this out. Okay. We're going to go ahead and leave it in here. All right. Now, what am I missing here? Ah, yes, there we go. Remember I told you spacing is very crucial in modding this. That's one of those things right there. Okay. Yep, spacing is very crucial in this game. Well, I mean, it don't matter so much with the whole lines that are commented out. All right, let's go ahead and Control S, and let's go back and see if this works. Remember, it didn't have no problems with the whole yep. I can tell you right now, we're going to have to exit back out. I'll tell you why in just a second. All right, so this is child 1. This is child 2. Or that's child 0. Okay. This is child 2. This needs to be a 1. Just throwing that out there. All right. Let's save this. Okay. Beautiful. Perfect. Awesome. Groovy. Let's try this again. All right. So it might not be the first child, which is the resource thing. It might have to do with the whole. Holy shit, it's working. Okay. I ain't going to argue. It happens. It's one of them freaky little accidents. So left click, right click. Let's try this again. Right click. Resource, grab. Yep. All right. Beautiful. Okay. Perfect. Awesome. Okay. Now we have to set our particles back, which is all fine and good. Not a problem. Okay. All right. Beautiful. Let's go to transform. Let's go to I forget what we let's page up. Enemy turret laser, ballistic driller, drill attachment CV weapon. Okay, which we could absolutely use this whole thing right here. Unlimited ammo, reload delay, particles, digger, plasma. Okay, particles. Alright, we don't need the sound deal. We don't need that. Page down. Alright. Paste. Alright, and then we're going to change this to particle. Oh, well, hey, we're missing that altogether. Let's move this over here just a wee bit so we have more room to see the whole file. Alright, so let's go ahead and put this bad boy in right here. Paste. So let's go ahead and change this to 3. Yeah. All right. Now, it worked last time, so now it all should still work now. Okay. So let's try it. But then I'm going to have to, now that we've got it all figured out, I think, maybe. But then I'll have to end the stream here because I do have other things that I've got going on today, like paying bills. It's a thing. I know. It's crazy. All right. Everything's going to work. Absolutely. Everything's going to work. Look at there, guys. We are absolutely steamboating now. Let me get a sip of this coffee real quick. Yum. All right. So there's our laser beam again. Okay. For whatever reason, it doesn't stretch way out there. All right. So that was because we set it to particle 3. So let's set it to particle 1. Okay, so let's set that back to particle 1. Okay. Let's go ahead and change our range to 35 to uh let's see ammo capacity, none of that matters. Uh, digger plasma, damage, rate of fire, range. Let's go ahead and set that back to 20. Range perfect. Good deal. Noise strength. What is the let's change damage to, you know what, let's kick that up to 60. Alright, let's see here. Display, reload, delayed, digger plasma. Alright, let's go ahead and save this bad boy and get back in it and see what it does, and then we will go from there. And guys, I hope this video has been very informational and instructional for you, the viewer, and all that stuff. And like I said, this is a whole series that I planned out and all that. I really need to get my Sins of the Solar Empire 2 lined out, as well as my Alien Stranded Dawn, or yeah, Alien Stranded Dawn, Alien whatever it is, that guy, which I actually got to reteach myself how to mod that. All right, so there we go. Bam. Look at that. One shot. Woohoo, one shot. Bam. All right. There we go. So now we are doing resources again. Woohoo. Alright, now let's go over here to our trees. Can we do our trees? Is that a thing? Alright, we are doing our trees. Bam, look at there. Alright, so that's close enough. So, there you go. Alright. So that's how you convert your weapons and stuff like that. Put them on SVs. You got to fill a fart around with them a little bit and all that good stuff, guys. But with all that good stuff being said, guys, I'm going to go ahead and end the stream here. And, oh, hold on. Hold that thought before I do. One last thing before I end the stream here. That we got to do. Where am I at? Saw attachment? No. We want to go for the thing. I wanted to do this for y'all before I ended the stream. So, alright, let's find that bad boy. Is it backwards or forwards? Yes, there it is. Alright, here we go. This is very crucial. Alright. To work this device, use left, you know what, left mouse click for resource gathering, and for salvage mode, use right mouse click. Let's capitalize that. All caps. Right. And then perfect. Now let's go ahead and save that. Okay, remember that is the info line right here. Okay. All right. We got to exit out of the game and restart the game because we changed it and we saved it, but the game was already loaded, so we got to go through this whole arduous process and all that. Guys, if you're looking to mod a game real quick, I've been modding for almost 20 years now. None of it goes quick. It is what it is. You could dedicate 8 hours a day, 7 days a week to modding just one game. Okay, it is time consuming. Okay, it is what it is. You know, it's nobody's fault. It's just it is what it is. However, the rewards definitely outweigh the cons. All right, so let's go in here. Let's go into our small vessel. Go down here, and it is going to be right here. Now, if you look, right under it says Drill Module T2 Laser SV. It is the info. To work this device, use left mouse click for resource gathering, and for salvage mode, use right mouse click. Okay? I know, it's crazy. So, what do you mean, Chief? Well, you just left mouse clicky for that, you know, grab your resources, and then come over here and just right mouse click. Okay? Bam. Now, what we can do, let's go ahead and use 0 to straighten this out. Let's go ahead and, we don't have God mode on. That's funny. I don't care who you are. Okay. All right, let's get back. All right, so what are we going to do? We are going to, why are you... What do we have right there that is... Oh, that's what we have right there. Let's get rid of that glass right there. Let's grab this bad boy right here. Okay, let's get rid of this glass right here. Now we're going to, bam, put that on there, and let's go ahead and take these blocks off. Okay. Perfect. All right, now let's get in here and take it for a test drive. All right, we got these two, so let's go ahead and right-click. Bam, look at that. So now you have your little SV that can salvage blocks, POIs, and stuff like that. And you can take it for a test spin over here to a tree and, whoop, cut a tree down. There you go, guys. So, without further ado, guys, I hope you've enjoyed this video. Okay. I hope this video has helped you with your modding quests, but I really do got to end this live stream for now. But we will definitely come back into another episode tomorrow or the next day. I'm not sure when. Give me some ideas down in the comment section below, guys, on what ideas you may have on what should we mod next. I mean, I have a list of things to what we're going to mod next, but, you know, it's a process. But, yeah, definitely if you have a ideal or you have any questions or you have any comments or suggestions, throw them in the comment section below this video. And definitely if you are enjoying these tutorials on how to mod EGS, definitely give a thumbs up and give a sub. That way you can catch the next episode and stuff like that. The thumbs up and the like is so that other players like you can find these videos easier, because there's not many of them out there. And the subscribe is so that you don't miss out on the next episode and stuff like that, because we may be going through something that you had a question and wanted to know how to do before, but didn't know how and just simply forgot about it. That happens to me on a daily basis, guys. But, as always, happy gaming, and I will see you in the next episode.